what does it mean?
Hey Frugal Peeps, Joel and Christy here, and what are we going to be doing today?
Today we're going to be sharing with you some frugal vocabulary.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes in the frugal and budgeting community, we tend to use some words that, like, if you're new to it or if you're a beginner, you might not know what we're even saying.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of explain some of them to you today.
All right, let's do it. All right, the first frugal term we want to talk about today is called four walls. Now, if you know this, then you know it's kind of a Dave Ramsey term that he uses around his circles that mean the basic necessities of life, like food, shelter, utilities, and transportation. These things are to be prioritized over anything else in your life. You want to make sure you have those walls supported, and then you can start doing other things that you want to do.
Number 2 on our list is baby steps. Now, this is a Dave Ramsey thing. He has a list of steps that you take to become debt-free. And I'm going to just put the list right here really quick. A lot of people will say where they are. For us, we didn't actually follow the baby steps. Really, we didn't even study up on Dave Ramsey or anything when we decided to become debt-free. But I did go to his website and find that list. And so sometimes we'll refer to the steps that we're taking as the baby steps, but which one we're on, but each one is a different one that if you follow Dave Ramsey, you would go through each one so that by the time you got to the bottom, you should be financially free.
All right, the third term we want to talk about today is snowball or avalanche. Now, the snowball method is a priority of paying off the smallest debt to the largest debt. Obviously, creating a snowball effect as you pay them off from smallest to largest. The avalanche method is paying off your debts with the highest interest rates first, get them out of the way, and then you can start paying off other things and then you go to the next highest and the next highest and the next highest until you avalanche that all the way out.
Number 4 is when somebody says Davish, and I would characterize us as Davish, and Davish just means like Dave Ramsey -ish Davish, and it just means that they kind of took some of the things that Dave Ramsey recommends and they kind of made it what they wanted it to be. They didn't feel obligated to follow it 100%, but it's inspired by his tips and his way of doing things. So they didn't fully follow Dave, but it was similar or inspired by. It's Dave-ish.
The fifth term we want to talk about today are sinking funds. And if you have any history with our channel, you know that we really believe in sinking funds. We use them every month in our journey, and we will continue to do that as well. But sinking funds are simply funds that you set aside money for that you want to use for something. So we have a sinking fund set aside for our car insurance because we pay it in full every 6 months, and we save a little bit of money because we do that. So we have a sinking fund that we put money into for car insurance every month until it's time to pay that one lump sum for the insurance every 6 months.
Number 6 is no spend challenges. And we've done a video about the different types of no spend challenges. We really like to do no spend days ourselves. And so it is something that we do recommend. Be sure to check out that video if you want to know more about it. But just to summarize what a no spend challenge is a period of time that you challenge yourself not to spend money. And to me, the goal of a no spend challenge is to kind of retrain your mind on what is really important, to make yourself stop and say, do I want it that bad? And then you start realizing that sometimes we have a habit of spending money on things that we don't even have to, and it's just a habit. And if we do these no spend challenges, they just kind of retrains our brain in a way.
Seventh term we want to talk about today is cash envelopes. Now, cash envelopes are actual physical envelopes you use and you put actual cash in. that you use for different things. Now, some people don't use the cash envelopes for paying their bills. They still use a card for that because it's harder to pay with cash, especially if you're not going right down, like we used to go down to the street to pay our electric bill down the street down there. Yeah, we used to do that. But for things like shopping, for buying groceries, for incidental things that you might want to buy here and there, a lot of people use cash envelopes for that. They put cash in the envelopes and use only the cash in the envelopes for that. And every month they reissue the cash into those envelopes so they can stick to that budget.
Number 8 is savings challenges, and that is different than no spend challenges. These are like themed type of challenges. There might be the 52-week challenge or the $1 a day challenge, and there's so many. I can't even name you all of the different types of savings challenges there are, but the goal is to save some amount of money every day, every week. It might be based on the weather. I don't know. It's there's so many. I can't, like, there's one that used to be done a lot, might still be, but it was like the Monopoly challenge, and you roll dice to see how much money you were going to put in the savings challenge. There are so many. I will be sure to link maybe 1 or 2 YouTube videos of some of our friends who do savings challenges so that you can see what those savings challenges are, because like I said, there's too many for me to name. But the goal is to, after a certain period of time, have a certain amount of money saved up that you can use on anything from vacations to, like some project you may have around your home, or any number of things, or Christmas, or anything like that. There's so many. So savings challenges are a really great way to save money, especially if you deal with cash.
The 9th term we want to talk about today is net worth. And net worth is simply your total assets minus your total liabilities. So whatever you have as far as your assets go, including your homes, your cars, anything like that, you add all that up as a positive, and then you take anything you owe, like your mortgage, the amount you owe on your car, anything, all your debts, you take that'll be your liabilities. You subtract your liabilities from your assets, and that's your net worth.
Number 10 is the word FIRE, which means financial independence, retire early. That is a group that their goal is to retire early and to do so financially independent. They often base this off of their net worth, and so they want their assets to be so much higher than their liabilities that they can retire early. We understand that, and we like the idea of it to a point. The only thing that we don't like is that sometimes they would rather put their money into investments and building their assets, and instead of getting rid of debt, and they're able to do whatever they want to. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it that way, but for us, since we have dealt with job loss in the past, we're a little uncomfortable with the idea of having debt, because when Joel lost his job, we had an asset in a house, but we owed on our cars, we owed on that house, and we had a little credit card debt. So when that all came crashing in, and all of a sudden we didn't have enough money to pay our mortgage and the car notes and stuff, what do you think we had to do? We had to start selling off our assets to make up for not being able to afford our liabilities anymore. So that's why we're not comfortable with having debt. That's why, but now that we don't have debt, we're able to put even more into our investments than we would have if we kept the liabilities high. I hope that makes sense. But that is what they're talking about when they talk about that, is they want those assets to be way higher than their liabilities, and they want to be able to put a lot more into investments so that they will easily be able to afford to retire early.
The final little term we want to talk about today is debt-free and debt-free journey. Debt-free just simply means that you don't have any debts that you're having to pay at the current time. Your debt-free journey is the journey that you take to become debt-free, or the journey that you're continuing to take to continue to be debt-free throughout the rest of your life. It's always a journey that you're going to be on for the rest of your life, making sure that you're either getting out of debt or not going back into debt.
So that's a few of the common terms that you might hear on frugal or budgeting channels.
Yeah, and drop some comments below and tell us if you knew what these were.
And be sure to let us know if there are any frugal vocabulary words that we didn't talk about that you would like to have defined.
That's right. Let's go do it today for saving money for the long run. We're Joel and Christy, and don't forget, it's the long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Right. So that's a few of the, what is it?
A few of the common terms. We're Joel and Christy, and don't forget.
It's a long run. Give yourself a